I look at it as weird as if it's a sport, but professional boxing isn't a sport, it's a business. It doesn't make an odds how good you are in the ring. If you can't sell tickets, no one is interested in you. So you need to be able to sell yourself, you need to be marketable. Ireland is probably one of the top 5 countries in the world in amateur boxing. Amateur boxing gets no coverage in Ireland, and it's a disgrace, to be honest with
yourself
you.
like preparing for a fight, what comes first, do you reckon? Is it mental or physical?
Both, I'd say. The difference between being a champion and not being a champion is that 1%, is that one little thing that you didn't do.
It's like, what does it mean to represent where you're from and your people?
Of course, yeah, my family, my country, my county, my town, it's for all of it now. Especially being over here in Los Angeles, you're representing the Irish flag over here. You know, it's on the international stage now, so this is bigger than just me. And that's one thing I like about boxing, is in compared to a team sport. If you play a team sport, you can put the blame on someone else for a loss. You can put the blame on someone else for you not doing this. Boxing, you lose, it's your fault. I see a lot of young fighters back home now from my amateur club back in Ireland, even looking up to me now, and that's something that helps me and pushes me up in my confidence as well, because they look up to me, so I want to give them something to inspire to be. You need to control your feelings, not let your feelings control you, you know. All you need is one opportunity, one door to open for you and turn your life around, you know. So if that's something that you really want to do and it's something you really want to pursue, just go for it, do you know what I mean?
Welcome to the One Talk Podcast with Ryan McCarthy.
Today's episode is sponsored by TNC Metal Roofing. TNC Metal Roofing is a small family-owned business constantly striving to outdo competition on quality, appearance, and providing the most cost-effective roofing solutions. All aspects of metal roofing, from new roofs, re-roofs, fascia, and gutter-to-wall cladding. With many builders and private clientele, they are slowly growing to be the next big contender in North Brisbane. TNC stated they are loving the work One Talk does throughout the community and beyond, highlighting mental health is a major thing and often swept under the rug within the building industry, and they want to make it a topic. Never any project TNC will shy away from, and the mental health of their employees is always at the forefront. So check the link in this bio. You can find their website, you can find their Instagram. Please go show the love, go show the support. Also, if you need any roofing work done, I highly recommend hitting them up. They are the best in the business on Brisbane, and I highly recommend checking them out.
Thank y'all. The marathon continue. Lay that victory lap tonight, though. Victory lap tonight.
Welcome to the One Talk Podcast with Ryan McCarthy.
The marathon continues. That's what you would say.
Welcome to the One Talk Podcast. Brandon McCarthy, how are you, mate?
I'm good now, Ryan. How's things?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you for coming on the show, man. It's a pleasure for me. I saw your last fight against Rodriguez. Really good fight, solid performance. And for yourself, how are you feeling on the back end of that fight?
I'm feeling good, yeah. It was a good performance. My last one out, 5-0. It was my first fight under my new gym and under the new coach, Marvin, at the wild card. And I was very happy with the performance. Yeah, there's obviously some minor little things we went back to work on, and that's what we've been doing now at the gym.
What was that mindset like, fighting under a new team, under a new gym, stepping into a big fight like you did? Did you have to have a bit of a mindset switch going into that fight, or was it business as usual and just take on the new things you learned?
Yeah, my mindset changed a small bit when I changed gym and I relocated into a new gym. Obviously, you're the new guy in the gym and everything. You have all these fighters around you and coaches. So it was a small bit intimidating and things like that, but I just took it in my stride and I got more comfy there and training started going good, and I've been loving it there since. So the mindset's kind of just kept the same now. I'm a bit more comfy in the place and I feel like home now there.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, do you think you've kind of conditioned yourself to get into new environments, like moving from Ireland, coming to Los Angeles? Do you feel like you've kind of somewhat became comfortable and conditioned yourself for that?
Yeah. See, I've been traveling since I was about 12 years of age. My first time traveling away was for boxing with Ireland. So I've always been used to being away from home and going to these mad countries, training camps, and staying away from home for so long. So to jump over here since I've been 22 or 23 years of age, it hasn't been a big thing for me because I've always been used to being away, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to hear more about that. Like, actually, let's go back to the beginning of your journey with boxing. So, like, what was the first memory that you have with boxing? Was it a video that your dad showed you? Did you see it on the TV? What was your first memory that you had?
My dad used to be a fighter himself, and he got into coaching then because he was working a job and he couldn't train as well at the same time, so he couldn't do both. So he got into coaching, and I was only about 5 or 6, and he brought me over to the gym. In the evenings, every evening, he was training all the other guys, and I just used to sit there and watch. And then they start putting on the gloves and start hitting the bag. And he took an interest in me. Then he seen I had something, so then he trained me there in the club with the guys, and then when we go home, we do a little bit extra, and it was
Yeah.
just that kind of continuous over the year until I got into it was competition at 11, and our goal all the way from 6 to 11 was to win a national title, and then I done it on my first year asking. So
Oh, nice one.
yeah, yeah, done it every year since then. So I was delighted along. That was our plan was to get the first one, and we done it and won every one all the way up.
Yeah, well, what did that do in terms of your confidence and belief in your own ability?
Oh, it was great. Boxing has helped me great with my confidence anyway, and just being respectful and things outside of it. So knowing that I put in the hard work and you see the rewards from it, you're making a national team. You're traveling away with all these top level fighters, meeting up with these other top countries. You see the hard work is paying off. So it just boosts your confidence for next year to keep growing and getting better.
Like you said there, like it teaches you so much with confidence and respect outside the ring too. Because I've done a lot of work over the years working with like young teenage lads, and one of the things I say to them is like get into a gym because the lessons you learn outside that you can contribute to the outside world is like it's something that you can't learn anywhere else, really.
Oh, that's it. It's discipline. Just doing the small things right every day. Do you know what I mean? Makes you feel better about yourself and makes others around you feel better. And it's just a bit of respect and discipline, I think, and getting your focus and your attention on something else, something worthwhile. You know what I mean? Gym, whether it be the gym, boxing, a different hobby. It's just your focus is on something anyway that you like and enjoy.
Yeah, you have a focus, but also you have a goal as well, like something you're trying to achieve and aim for, which I think is important for especially us as adults, but definitely young people as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, and especially I see a lot of young fighters back home now from my amateur club back in Ireland, even looking up to me now, and that's something that helps me and pushes me up in my confidence as well because they look up to me, so I want to give them something to inspire to be, and I have my goals as well. So as long as I keep chasing them and they keep looking up to me, it keeps them on the right path as well.
That's good because you found a way to make boxing bigger than just yourself, right? Like now you're doing it for other people and to inspire other people as well as, you know, your own personal success too.
Oh, of course, yeah. My family, my country, my county, my town. It's for all of it now. Especially being over here in Los Angeles, you're representing the Irish flag over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's on the international stage now. So this is bigger than just me.
What does that mean to you though? Like, I'd love to hear from your own words. Like, what does it mean to represent where you're from and your people?
Oh, it's just being an Irishman and being proud of where you're from is just one thing we're known for, and I'm always proud I'm an Irishman. So being able to represent my country over here and fly the flag this far away from home and show them what we're good at is unbelievable. And it's only the start, you know what I mean? I'm only growing my fan base over this side as well. There's a lot of Irish community over here that I'm getting involved with now as well, and it's great to have the support from them too.
Oh, amazing. I feel the same because I'm from Liverpool. I know my accent's not there anymore because I've been here for so long. Basically an Aussie now.
Yeah, Liverpool. I was thinking it must be a separate one in Australia.
Yeah, a different Liverpool.
Yeah.
But no, I've been over here for 20 years now, and it's like it's the same for me. Like if you walk in my house, there's so much Liverpool stuff here. It's pretty bonkers. But you kind of you hold that pride close to you, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. It's home away from home is what they call it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You keep that little small touch. Now I do get homesick and things like that. It is lonely being over here, but that's what makes it worthwhile because there's no distractions, and this is where you need to be to get to the top of the sport,
Yeah,
top of the game.
it's about to say like what does help you with being homesick while you're trying to pursue this career?
Sorry.
What helps you with overcoming like being homesick while you're pursuing this?
Just thinking back to why I do this. Thinking back to the being a little 6 year old, putting on them gloves and looking at where I am now. From the little village I come from in Kilkenny, I would have never thought I was going to be over here in Los Angeles. So looking at how far I've come now, I'm like, can't give up now. Do you know what I mean? I know it's tough here and this and that, but it's not always going to be tough.
Yeah, love that though. Putting Kilkenny on the map.
Yeah, putting Kilkenny on the map. Small little village, Clock in North Kilkenny. Yeah. So it's a different world over here.
Getting into boxing at 6 and then competing at 11, when do you think you first fell in love with boxing? Was it when you first got into the gym, or was it something that developed?
Uh, I think it was something that kind of developed. It was just something I done so regular. I played a lot of sports when I was young. I tried everything. I had something going on every night, and I was just always so active and things like that. And then I think once I started getting around 9 and 10, and it was coming near championships, so my dad said to me like, "You're gonna have to pick what you want to do now because you can't be good at everything."
Yeah.
And then we decided then it was a boxing. I enjoyed the boxing. I was very good at the boxing. Where I'm from in Kilkenny as well, one of the best counties in Ireland for hurling. So it would have
Yeah.
been impossible to. It would have been very hard to make the Kilkenny hurling team. So I said I'll go with the boxing. And yeah, I went with the boxing anyway, and we just stuck with that then until I had my first competitive fight then at 11.
That also demonstrates the importance of having like good people around you giving you good advice, because you can't be 50% in one thing and 50% in the other and then expect to be successful in both. Like you kind of have to commit to one of them if you want to pursue and get success in that.
That's it. Yeah, that's what my dad was there for. He said to me like, if you want to do something, you want to do it to be the best. So you have to dedicate everything to it. So he said, whatever you're going to do, I'm going to support you and I'm going to back you for it. But it has to be one of them because you're going to give it your all. Do you know what I mean? And that was it then. And just it became a regular thing. I became good at it. I was winning. I was traveling. I was getting to see the world. Met some amazing people, and even look where I am now. Like so, it was the best choice to make.
Yeah, definitely. Because what do you think has been one or two of the lessons that you learned from a young age that you still carry with you today?
Um, having something, having something to focus on, having something to drive towards, having something planned ahead that you have the motivation. Because some days you don't wake up and you're not motivated every day. Do you know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
days you're not arsed getting up and you're like, ah. But so having a goal and have something to drive towards, and knowing if you don't do it, you're not going to reach your goal. And that's one thing I like about boxing is in compared to a team sport. If you play a team sport, you can put the blame on someone else for a loss. You can put the blame on someone else for you not doing this. Boxing, you lose, it's your fault. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what I've always used as a young age. It's down to me at the end of the day.
It's true though, because like in football, like the striker can miss a shot, like an open goal, but the defender can give one ball away. They run blame to the defender, not the striker, for not scoring and winning the game. But with boxing, like it's all on you. The work comes down to what you put into it.
Exactly, you're the one that's getting in the ring at the end of the day. So it all comes down to you. Everyone around you can tell you what to do, guide you, advise you, this and that. But if it's not you that's putting in the work at the end of the day, you're the one. And boxing's a dangerous sport, so you could get hurted in this
Yeah.
business.
You really have to take it serious as well. 'Cause like you said, it's a
Yeah,
very dangerous sport. Like you're going out there against someone who's training as well for like 6 to 12 weeks who wants to do damage to you. So you've
who
got to
wants to
make
take
sure
your
you,
head off?
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's you know what I mean. So it's you're putting your health on the line. It's all that kind of stuff. So for when days that I don't feel motivated and things like that, that's what I think back to, and I'm like, I need to get this done anyway.
I think that's so important too. Like even for people that aren't into boxing to hear that, like still doing the right thing, depending on how you like disregarding how you feel. Like still doing the thing you know is going to contribute to the lifestyle that you want or the goals you want to achieve or things that make you feel better. Like still do the thing regardless of how you feel.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to control your feelings, not let your feelings control you. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem with some people. They let their feelings control them. They're like, I feel tired and I don't want to do this now. Do you know what I mean? Don't let your feelings control you. If you're tired, you just do it anyway. You're gonna have to get it done. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of the mindset I have now. I have been working on my mindset a lot recently. There's a guy back home, Pat, that I work with on it, and he's kind of changed my whole view on it before. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good way to end. It helps me training wise, lifestyle outside of training, everything.
Yeah, and also like especially as a boxer, like you have to constantly sharpen that sword of controlling your emotions, especially when you're in the ring, like you have to stay composed and know when to like unleash and tap into emotion, but also know when to not play into it too much because it might make you sloppy or overcommit sometimes. Like, how do you balance that inside the ring to, I guess, like keep yourself focused and centered?
Yeah, experience, I suppose. I even from my last fight there, you could say I think there was a moment there in the fifth round. I got caught with a shot, and the crowd reacted, and it was hot and heavy and things like that. And I just knew myself I had to stay calm, don't react to the crowd, don't make a stupid mistake, don't give in to it. You know what I mean? Just stay calm and relaxed. Get to the end of the round, and that was just experience. I think over the years of being in there and knowing that it's only you in there that don't react to what's going on all outside you, all the outside noise.
Yeah, that's it. Because with experience, you've had 84 amateur fights. Is that right?
No, I've had about 220. There's just 84. There's just 84 online.
Yeah, 84 on box rec. So, so,
Box like I'm missing a few.
so like having over 200 amateur fights, like how did you know it was time to make the step into pro?
I didn't know it was the time, to be honest with you. What actually happened was I had broke my hand 3 weeks leading up to the Paris Olympic qualifiers, and so I didn't get selected to go to the qualifiers over my hand. And another guy got selected, and he ended up qualifying then at my weight.
Yeah, okay.
So that was my spot out, and I decided I didn't want to wait around another 4 years for the LA games. So I decided to come over to LA for a training camp. I knew some people over here. Came over here for a training camp, 3 or 4 weeks. Went home, came back then again, done a bit of sparring, and just started to love it here. And I was like, this is where I want to be full time.
Yeah, nice one. Because what do you feel like was the biggest change, I guess, for yourself going from amateurs to pros? Because, it's a longer game, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely slowing the pace down. Amateurs is three-minute rounds. In the pros, you're building up to do 12 3-minute rounds. You know what I mean? So everything's a lot slower. You need a lot more endurance, a lot more cardio, a lot more fitness. It's a lot of mindset as well. You know what I mean? Especially 12 rounds in there with a guy, two of you trying to beat each other. It plays a big thing on your mind. So kind of keeping that focus as well. I've learned is a big thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because the first thing that came to my mind then is that fight where Wilder knocked down Fury, and like he's like knocked out on the floor, still comes back up, and when he gets back up, like he still wins the rest of the round, which is just unbelievable. But that just shows determination, will, the heart he has, and probably the mindset in that moment too.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that was a serious moment for him. That mindset to get back up off the canvas. I remember looking at it. I was like, "That's unbelievable." There, like to get hit with a shot like that and get up, it goes to show you like anything is possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 10 seconds, and he was back up, went down, danced around, and laughed at Wilder for the end of the fight. Like it was something special.
Yeah, and that's why it's like it's good evidence to show you should have belief against anyone, no matter who you fight, no matter who your opposition is. Like as long as you try and do the right things, like you've always got a chance.
I've always my coach, my amateur coach back home from my club, that he used to travel away with me when I was going abroad and stuff. He always used to say to me, "If he's got two arms and two legs, don't be worrying about it. He's the same as you." I said, "We're not going to put you in there if he has three arms or three legs. That won't be fair," he said. "But if he has two arms and two legs, it's a fair fight." So I've always looked at it that way. Do you know what I mean? I don't look into opponents too much, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talking about like going away in the amateurs, what was your first trip like? And I guess what did that do for you personally?
Uh, my first time actually on an airplane was traveling with Team Ireland. I went to the European Championships, and we went to Hungary, I think it was in. And I was only, I think I was 11 years of age or 12 years of age. I actually got beat for a European medal on a split decision by 1 point. And the guy he ended up going on winning gold anyway. But I remember just traveling and been a big thing in my amateur day was to represent Ireland and to get the vest, the boxing vest with the flag on it. That was a big moment for every young lad. So even getting that and wearing that, going to represent my country, I was disappointed I didn't come home with a medal. But even coming home with just my Irish gear, my national kit that was mine from representing it was a massive moment. And I knew every year after that, then I wanted to make that team every year.
That would be massive for you, but also, like your family and also your community, like, seeing you out there representing, doing it for Ireland, that would have been massive, not just for you, but everyone around you too.
Yeah, my community as well. It was a big thing, especially because where I'm from, that it's not known. It's known for hurling. It's a big hurling sport, and GAA. It's not known for having fighters or boxers. So it's something different for everyone to jump along and support. But I've had great support from back home all the way through my amateurs, and especially now into my pro days. And being over here, the support is unreal. That's one thing I do miss from being here is you don't get to go back and kind of see everyone. You're seeing it online and things like that. So that's the tough part about it, but it's been unreal.
Yeah. How many countries do you reckon boxing has taken you to, roughly?
I've 30 plus, I'd say.
Yeah, well.
Definitely, yeah. I've been to some mad spots. Been to Russia, Cuba, Bulgaria, Poland, you name it. Like just mad spots. Not even holiday spots. Like these places are the back arse of nowhere, we'll say. But there were some experience though.
Out of all those times traveling, do you have like one unique experience, one unique trip that you had that really stands out to you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I went to Cuba for a 2 week training camp, to Havana, and we trained in with the national team there. And I had no cell phone for 2 weeks, no Wi-Fi, no phone coverage. Everything was like back in the 1950s, old cars, horse and carts. And you know what? It was an unbelievable experience. It was just a break away from reality, and to train alongside some of the best. Cubans are the best amateurs in the world. Do you know what I mean? To train alongside some of them and learn their tips was unbelievable.
That's it too, because when you go to different countries, like you learn different styles of boxing. You know, like Mexico has their own style, the UK has their own style. Like each part of the world has their own uniqueness to the way they approach fights, and to be able to travel around the world and learn from all that literally just sharpens your own sword, doesn't it?
Exactly, and that's why I use that in my sparring over here now, because you don't know who could, in the gym that I'm in now, you could get sparring any day of the week and you don't know who's going to come in the gym. There's a mix of styles, mix of opponents. So that experience of traveling around the world and fighting all these guys and being training with them, I have something to manage each style. You know what I mean? There's not a style I haven't seen.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So it was good to have that experience and being able to deal with it now, and it's benefited me in the pro game.
Have you been over to Australia yet?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I had a teammate that was over there. He fought in Melbourne like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Tommy.
nice one.
Um, but I haven't been over now, so I'm hoping to get over sometime.
Yeah, it'd be good because we've got another Irish lad over here. Connor Wallace lives down the road.
Oh, Connor, yeah, Jason O'Connor, well, yeah.
Yeah, and he's fighting up in June, I
Fighting
think it
soon,
is.
May, isn't he?
Yeah, on
June,
our
isn't it?
Opataya card, which is going to be unreal because Jai Opataya at the moment is that deadly fighter, but also Connor Wallace is phenomenal as well.
Connor's doing very well. I think he's up at like number 2 now or something.
Yeah,
He's nearly in contention now for a title, so hopefully so. It's great to see it though. A lot of Irish fighters have went down to Australia and made their way up and then got up to 4 world title shots. It's great for boxing. There's plenty of Irish down there as well, so it's great for the support as well for the Irish fighters over there.
yeah, 100%. But for yourself, like preparing for a fight before, what comes first, do you reckon? Is it mental or physical?
Uh, Both, I'd say first.
Hmm.
Both kind of come first, because when I get ready for a fight, you're 8 weeks out, 9 weeks out. You're not in great shape. You're getting into it. Things are hard. It's hard to get back into momentum. So you're feeling it on your body. Your body's aching. Then that plays with your head, and you're like, oh, trying to get ready and stuff. But once you get into the flow and that, then of a couple of weeks, then and you're coming into camp, then everything goes good. You know what I mean? But the first few weeks getting into camp and stuff is both physical and mental.
Yeah, because how much do you reckon the intensity increases? Because before we get into that, actually, like in your, I guess, off season between fights, like what does your training intensity look like? Because obviously you can't really take time off because you've always got to be ready. So what does like an
Yeah,
off
yeah.
season look like?
My off season would say like I wouldn't train twice a day, but I'd probably 3 times a week I'd train twice a day, and I'd be just doing a bit of cardio and keep my fitness up and things like that. You know what I mean? But like we try to avoid sparring and things like that because it's unnecessary out of camp. You know what I mean? If you don't have a fight, you don't need to be in sparring and taking punishment and taking shots. And sparring is heavy on the head. You know what I mean? And boxing's a long sport, and if you take a lot of shots, you want to have your health at the end of it. So there's no need to be taking them if you don't need to. So we kind of stay out of that. But then when camp comes in, then it's boom, picked up the level straight away.
That's good because I feel like you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like sparring is mainly just to prepare for the opposition that you're fighting anyway. So like you find people to spar with who are similar to the guy you're going to fight, or so you can try certain things yourself. So sparring in your off season, like you said, doesn't really make sense because there's no point risking an injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know who your opponent is. You might even have a fight date yet and things like that. And then I feel sometimes if I'm in my off season and I'm not doing much, and I get in a nice bar guy that's fighting in 2 weeks' time, that's razor sharp and things like that, it's not good for me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not going to give me a good confidence boost either, and I'm not in shape and things like that. So there's no kind of point for that kind of stuff. But then when camp comes and stuff, that's what gives me the motivation and to say I need to get into shape now, and let's go and sparring as well. But the sparring is what really brings you on, I think.
Do you feel like with yourself, everything within boxing has to have a purpose? So like the sparring has to have a purpose, the eating and dieting has to have a purpose, recovery has to have a purpose. Like everything contributes to the thing that you're working towards.
Yeah, they're all the one small 1% is what he said. They are each thing all adds up together. Do you know what I mean? And especially at the top level, the difference between being a champion and not being a champion is that 1%. Is that one little thing that you didn't do, that extra recovery session, that extra bit of your nutrition, anything. They're the difference between the top athletes at the game. So you need to have a purpose for everything, and everything you do needs to be beneficial to you.
Those 1%ers, I don't want you to give your secrets away if you have any, but
No secrets, just hard work.
but is there like maybe an unorthodox or like a certain thing that you have within your routine that really helps you? Maybe it's breath work, visualization, or anything like that that you use?
Yeah, I do some visualization and meditation and a lot of gratitude and things like that as well, because I'm always thankful for the opportunity to be over here and thankful for everyone that's got me here. Do you know what I mean? And how everything has played a part. But I just visualize where I want to be, my goals. That's what keeps me motivated, and it's what drives me on kind of every day. Yeah.
I love that
So
because
it's kind of meditation. The guy I was saying to you that I work with back home as well, so he kind of keeps me on top of it the whole time as well, and keeping the head right with the meditation and just knowing what your goal is and what you're here for, and that kind of keeps me straight while I'm training.
so far visualization is one of the most underappreciated or under, I guess, valued practices that we can do. Like, have you seen the study that scientists did around the basketball analogy with visualization?
No, I'm not too sure. No.
Now, I'll share it with you quickly. So, a group of scientists got together and they got 30 people into this study. And what they wanted them to do is to shoot a basketball from the free throw line. And they split them up into three groups of 10. The first group of 10, they said, for the next 30 days, do no physical practice, no visualization, just come back in 30 days and we'll see on the percentage how much you improve. The second group of 10, they said, do physical practice only, come back in 30 days, we'll measure the improvement. The third group, they said, do visualization only, don't even pick up a ball, just visualize it, come back in 30 days and we'll measure it. So they all came back. The first group who did nothing at all, they didn't improve really at all. The second group that did the physical had a 25% improvement. The third group that did only visualization had a 24% improvement. It's only 1% less than the team that did the physical and they didn't touch a ball.
Jesus, that is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. It's the law of attraction, though. Do you know what I mean? Seeing stuff, believing it, knowing it's going to happen, and making yourself want it. Like you need to believe it's going to happen before it happens. You know what I mean? And then when it does happen, then it pays off, and it was worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Because even though, like, if you visualize moments in the ring where it doesn't go right for you, you've kind of like mentally prepared how to deal with that already because you played it through your head. So, like, you attack it from all different angles. So, when you're in the ring, it's like you're already prepared to take on the challenge.
Exactly, and trust me, as a fighter, all of us, the last few days leading up to a fight, you think of every situation the fight's going to go, things that are going to happen. You know what I mean? You're cutting weight, you're tired, you're training, you're lying in bed, the nerves are kicking in, it's getting close, it's fight week. So then, if anything does happen in the ring, you're prepared for it. You're like, yeah, I went over this in my head. I know how to manage this, stay calm, relax, and you get through it.
Yeah. Talking about cut and weight there, because I think one of the most challenging things would be weight cut. Like, what is that like? Because that week leading up to a fight must be horrible.
Oh, it's the worst thing ever. It's horrible. No, to be honest with you, it used to be horrible in my amateur days. It used to be very bad because I done it wrong. I made weight wrong. I wasn't a professional. You know what I mean? I was still an amateur as I was. The food, it was all them little 1%. That it might be a little bit of food and nutrition and things like that. But now that I'm in the professional game, don't get me wrong, it still gets tough, but it makes it a lot easier the last few days coming in. You know what I mean? So it might only be tough the last day beforehand, but having all the team around me that I do and eating the right foods and starting weeks out and listening to the nutrition, it does make it easier, but still is one of the worst things because food is the one of the things I enjoy doing. It's good to eat.
You're not like Paddy the Baddy on off season, are you? Just
Oh, I am exactly like Paddy the Baddy. First thing I do after a fight is go straight for In and Out for a burger. I'm like, get me one of them now.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Unbelievable.
what is the thing you crave the most? Probably In and Out, just burgers and that.
Yeah, it's an In and Out. Straight after a fight, it's always the In and Out. I remember when I first came over here, I had it, and I was like, "This is my thing now. This is my reward after a fight." So it's the first thing I got to. But then a couple of days after your fight, like, and you the downtime, I do enjoy going out and
Mm.
enjoying my bits of food because when camp does kick in for 8 weeks, it's
Yeah.
head down and it's pure, strict and solid. There's no messing about, no
Mm.
cutting corners. You know what I mean? So you do need to have a balance and enjoy it as well.
Yeah, because that's it. Like, as much as you wanna, like, as much as you are, I mean, like, on this journey to get to the success that you want to get to, like, you've got to make memories along the way. So, like, the day you do retire in the future, you can look back and enjoy everything that you did in that time period.
That's it. I'm still a human at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a robot. Like I'm saying, you know, like I'm not going to train all day, all year round for all my life. Like so, you do need to live a bit as well, like and enjoy it too. Because as I always say, God only knows what could happen in the morning. So
Mm.
you can't take anything for granted. So you
Mm.
got to live the best of both of them. You know.
What was the first moment where you had the realization that you could actually make a career through boxing?
Oh, oof, Jesus. Uh I'd probably say when I was turning 17 or 18, maybe. Because I know underage doesn't really mean much. I've always seen coming up in my years, I've seen some of the top guys underage win absolutely gold world medals, European golds, everything. And then once they turn to senior and elite, they're no good and they drop off and things like that. So that's where it's hard for people to say. So I knew once I was still dedicated and I was still winning at 17 and 18 and I was competing with men and I was beating them and I knew like that this is what I wanted to do and this is what I done. I started an apprenticeship as an electrician and I actually packed that in to train full time then. I decided just I didn't need the job and I didn't want to go down that route of working on construction sites and stuff like that I'm gonna make a living from boxing.
Was it hard to make that decision? Because I find a lot of people have like a goal or something they want to pursue, but I feel like their job can sometimes hold them back. Was it a lot more clear for you, like, no, I know what I'm going to do? Or did you have to kind of convince yourself to give up on the trade and then pursue boxing?
Uh, no, I always knew I wanted to pursue boxing, but at the end of the day, you got to put food on the table as well. So you need to have a job as well at the same time. And I kind of just thought back to that lesson I said to my dad when I was 10. He said to me, if you want to do something, you just got to pick one or the other and dedicate everything to it. And then I was like, that was it. Then I just needed to pack in the job and just go fully at the boxing. And even though I wasn't making anything and things like that, I was just like, just go fully 100% at it.
Is there any like advice you would give to that version of yourself, or maybe anyone who is currently experiencing that in boxing, who has a full time job but wants to pursue it and they're doing really good? Like, what advice would you give to your younger self in that situation?
Take the risk and just go for it. You know what I mean? It's one of the best things I ever done because if I didn't do it, I'd probably still be stuck in Ireland on a building site now. Do you know what I mean? So you never know who you could meet. All you need is one opportunity and one door to open for you and it can turn your life around. You know what I mean? So if there's something that you really want to do and it's something you really want to pursue, just go for it. Do you know what I mean? If things go wrong, I can always go back to Ireland in the morning and do my apprenticeship. Do you know, like they're always going to be looking for electricians, so I can always go back.
That's it.
You
'Cause
know.
we've only got one life, so you might as well go after it.
That's what I'm saying. Jump for it straight away, and if it goes wrong, just go back to what you're originally going to do anyway. Like, what worse can it be?
And you've got to create your own look, because look is when preparation meets opportunity. So constantly prepare yourself, and when that opportunity arises, that's your moment.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. You only need one door to open, one person to see you, one little opportunity to get you in that door. So that's what I'm saying. If there's something that you're wanting to pursue and you want to go do it, just go straight forward with everything you have, and a door will open somewhere along the line. You know what I mean? Might be today, it might be tomorrow. For me, it ended up being about 12 years later. Like, but I'm here. Like, you know.
Was there a certain training style in Ireland that really helped you coming out to LA? Maybe that they don't, I guess, specifically focus on in LA, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Ireland is probably one of the top 5 countries in the world in amateur boxing. Do you know what I mean? The coaches that we had on the national setup and everything were brilliant, and the things we learned, the countries we went to with training camps, you were with the top professionals of the amateur sport. Like, you know what I mean? So coming over here, I feel a lot of them don't have that amateur experience. So there's small little tips and tricks I've picked up over the years that I know I have the advantage here of because they haven't had that experience of traveling with all these other styles and countries
Yeah.
to get that experience with. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, then the downside to that is I didn't have the pro kind of experience, the pro style, and that they're all used to over here because we don't have that in Ireland.
Yeah.
It was just an amateur system, so that was a downside for me as well, that I had to learn on some of that kind of stuff.
Because back home, you won 16 national championships too,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, 16 in a row, all the way up 16. So I was all amateur every year, one after another. But the professional game is completely different. I remember I had my first spar over here, and I was up on my toes like an amateur, in and out, scoring points. I was like, Jesus, this guy's no good at all. And then it was the later rounds then, and he started coming on stronger and going to the body and wearing me down. And I was like, yeah, that really opened my eyes. I was like, this is the difference between the two sports.
you? Yeah, they wait until like round 6 to really unlock
Yeah,
themselves.
till I was tired. Let me dance around there for 3 rounds and like blow myself out. And then he just came on then and he was like, he knew, do you know what I mean? But that was the experience that he had of that kind of stuff.
Do you find you like the pros more now? Because the pros is probably more like a chess game, isn't it? Like it's a lot more tactical.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
exactly. It's a lot more tactical. The gloves are smaller, so you have to be more careful. Everything is planned, thought out, all your attacks. Because you make a mistake and you get caught, punch can change a fight, you know what I mean? You might be expecting it and you could just, next thing you wake up and you're on the canvas. So everything is slowed down, planned, thought. You're waiting for reactions. You're looking at your opponent. There's loads of different things that go on behind it before a punch even gets thrown.
Yeah, that's it. Because with when you stepped into pros, the media coverage become a lot more like post-match interviews and before press conferences and all that.
Yeah, massive, big time, huge. Amateur boxing gets no coverage in Ireland, and it's a disgrace, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? It's never covered, and like even winning 16 national titles in Ireland, like I'm not sure if anyone else has a record like that, and like you wouldn't even be put in your local newspaper, kind of. To be honest with you,
Yeah, because 16
so it's
national
only.
titles is massive.
Yeah, like, and it's you know what I mean. It just goes unnoticed, like, you know what I mean. It means not now. It's because I'm a professional and it's a whole new game. But still, it's a great achievement that I've done it every year all the way up. And some of your local media and stuff don't even look at that. But since it's been a professional now, it's been massive. The support has come on. It gets covered a lot more, like, and things like that. You know.
Yeah, because I find like with footballers, like they probably get media training as they're going through the ranks of football, but I don't
Yeah.
find boxers get that media training. So like just getting thrown straight in front of cameras and the crowd and speaking to people must be like a big jump because yes, you're comfortable with boxing, but speaking in front of people and the cameras is a whole different thing too, isn't it?
Oh, I'd say if you went back to a few of my interviews from about a year ago now and you were looking at them, you say, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I definitely, like, I had no camera coverage or any kind of media training. Do you know what I mean? I was always a bit uncomfortable in the camera, but just after doing so many interviews and kind of just talking and just being me, I just get a lot more comfy now, do you know what I mean? And it just kind of comes with it. It's part of the job now.
Yeah, you end up conditioning yourself for that too.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while. And don't get me wrong, it is tough at the start. And a lot of fighters always say that as well, because none of us come from any of that kind of training and stuff. People always find it awkward talking on camera and this and that, giving interviews. But after a couple of them, you get comfy then and you get into your stride and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, because especially as a boxer as well, like you become your own promoter in a sense as well, because you have to, build up your own personal brand as well as focusing on your craft.
Exactly.
Because
You're a business.
yeah, exactly. Because like someone like I don't know Curtis Jones from Liverpool, like he's got Liverpool behind them, like the football team to promote them. But as a boxer, like it's on you to do it yourself as well.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. You're a business at the end of the day. And that's all these promoters, that's what they look for, right? The name of the game is you need to put bums on seats. You need to sell tickets. It doesn't make an odds how good you are in the ring. If you can't sell tickets, no one is interested in you. So you need to be able to sell yourself. You need to be marketable. You need to engage with people. You need to get out there and let people know who you are and connect with them. Because then them fans travel with you and they'll
Yeah.
go around everywhere. And that's where the opportunities come for you then in it. I know I look at it different because I look at it as weird as if it's a sport, but professional boxing isn't a sport, it's a business.
Yeah. It's good now too because like it's a worldwide thing, like you can reach people from all over the world. Like for me, I'm in Brisbane, Australia. Like I'm a fan of you, like which is
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
to
that's
see
what
like how far it's extended across the world.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's great with the media coverage, and social media is a big part of that nowadays as well. You know what I mean? Getting your name out there, getting your brand out there, getting people to see the life you live. Kind of, it's a big thing I've learned because even in my amateur days, I didn't do any of this kind of stuff, media and content and posts, and it wasn't a thing you needed to do. So that's another thing that I learned coming over here and being professional is this whole side of it as well that has to be done. But yeah, it's part of the job, I suppose.
Part of the trade.
Part of the trade. That's it. You know what I mean? I could be doing worse things.
But to wrap up now, like we've got a community Q&A. So every episode on One Talk, we send out each guest that comes onto the community, and then they send through questions for each guest. So
Yeah.
I'll send them. I'll start saying them. So the way it works is I'll ask a question. I usually don't respond, and then you just answer each question.
Yeah. Perfect.
So the first one is, if you could spar with anyone in history, who would it be?
Lomachenko.
Absolute technician.
Oh, unbelievable! He'd probably piece me up, but just to share the ring with him and just see what it was like. Oh, I'd be serious. Yeah.
Next one is, if you had to choose in a world title fight, a first round knockout or a 12-round dominant performance, what would you choose?
Oh, first round knockout all day. Hey, you don't get paid for overtime. Yeah, give me that bet, give me that check, and get me out of here.
Yeah, plus first round knockout, you might get a bonus as well on top of
Oh,
your
you'd be getting
paycheck.
something on you. You wouldn't be going home with a sore head.
Smart men.
Yep. In and out like a
Um,
bank robber.
our next one is, what has boxing taught you about life?
Oh, it can it can take you anywhere and it can do anything for you. Um, yeah, it just taught me not to worry about things too much, and anything can happen, anything thing can change. You know what I mean? I just take it day by day.
What's your top three boxers of all time?
Top three boxers of all time. Mm, oh, I have a tough one. This is a tough one now because I'm always controversial on it. You know what I mean? It changes sometimes. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Mike Tyson. I'd say I go with them three.
That's close to mine. Like Floyd's my number one. He was just, I remember
Floyd, yeah,
watch.
Floyd has to be. Even though so many people hate on him, he was the art of hitting and not getting hit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have like recency bias because they say, "Oh, Floyd never knocked people out," and it's like, "Well, did you see him his first half of his career? Like he was
yeah,
sparking
first
people
half,
out."
yeah. And now look at him now. He's well able to talk and walk, and he has his health. He's 100%. You know what I mean? Retired, load of money in his bank, so he didn't need to be getting hit, and he didn't need to be taking them risks. He was beating these guys on the outside, so I don't. There's no point.
Yeah. The last question is a question I ask every guest, but it's
Yep.
how do you define success?
Oh, how do I define success? Freedom. Having freedom, being able to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. And I think once you become successful, you'll have that. So that's what I think now, right? That's a deep one there. I was just thinking, like, yeah, having freedom, like, once I win that world title, everything is done.
The storm is settled after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was free then. Do you know what I mean?
Nice
That's
one.
the goal. Goal is hit then, and that's what I've been working on all these years. So
Well, Brandon, just want to say thanks for coming on the show, mate. Wish you nothing but
lovely.
success. And yeah, I appreciate your time. I'm keen to see what the future has planned for you, mate.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks very much for having me on. It was a pleasure.